Morning, everyone. On the 23rd of April 1564, a son William was born to John and Mary Shakespeare in Stratford-upon-Avon. All pupils from our school, starting from the 6th year of studying, remember this sentence. This is the first sentence, from the topic William Shakespeare. And today is the 23rd of April, so today is William Shakespeare's birthday. That's why our video will be devoted to him. Of course, there are thousands and thousands of videos in the internet devoted to this famous playwright and actor. But I think the 23rd of April is the day when we should discuss him. Just a little bit, some general information. First of all, we'll try to analyze who he was, whether it was a real person from Stratford-upon-Avon or maybe not. Then we'll analyze acting and poetry, of course, all based on his plays and performances by him. But before our discussion, I would like you to watch a video. Here there will be no new information for you. This video is just to revise some general information about his biography, about his family, about his career. So let's get started. Your task is to watch, try to understand everything, and refresh the facts in your memory. Let's get started.
William Shakespeare was born in 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon in England. His father John was a glove maker. His mother Mary was a farmer's daughter. He had two older sisters, two younger sisters, and three younger brothers. William probably studied Latin, Greek, and history, and left school when he was 14 or 15. 3 years later, he married Anne Hathaway. They had a daughter called Susanna and twins named Judith and Hamnet. Sometime before 1590, he left Stratford and went to London, the capital city of England. London's first theatre opened in 1576. Shakespeare worked in London as an actor, and then started writing plays too. In 1593, took place a terrible disease, killed thousands of people, and theatres were closed. During this time, William started to write poems instead of plays. His short poems are called sonnets. Shakespeare helped build a new theatre called the Globe. It opened in 1599. It was round and had space for 3,000 people. At the Globe, some people stood in front of the stage and others had seats. The audience shouted, clapped, booed, and laughed while they watched plays. Musicians created special noises to make the plays more exciting, and they had a cannon to make big bangs. No women acted in Shakespeare's time. Men and boys played all the parts. Shakespeare wrote comedies with happy endings, like A Midsummer Night's Dream. He wrote tragedies, which had sad endings, like Romeo and Juliet. His history plays are about kings and queens, like Henry V. Shakespeare wrote 38 plays, maybe more. He loved language and invented new words and expressions that are still used today. William became rich and famous. He had houses in London and in Stratford. He died when he was 52, on April the 23rd, 1616. His plays and poetry were very popular 400 years ago, and they are still popular today. People all over the world love his work because he wrote wonderful stories about very interesting people.
So now you have revised some general information about William Shakespeare, and let's start discussing who he was. The first idea, of course, is that he was a real actor, a poor actor at first, then he became rich, who was born in Stratford-upon-Avon, and then he went to live in London. But there are some other versions. The first one is that all his plays were written by his rival Christopher Marlowe. Others believe that it was Francis Bacon. Also, there are people who believe that it was the Earl of Oxford. Besides, quite a lot of people think that it was not one person but several people, a group of talented and rather famous at that time people who were writing these poems. All in all, we can say that that person or that group of people, they were very talented, really. But serious historians, however, say that the documents say that Shakespeare really existed. That documents about the later years of his life strongly suggest he did exist. That person from Stratford-upon-Avon, he was really an existing and living person. Let's believe the historian. In the video that we have just watched, there was a very interesting idea about his love of poetry and about his love of the English language. So he invented a lot of words. They came as borrowings, заимствования, from different other languages, and we can say that he reformed the English language. Nowadays, there are quite a lot of words that were invented by William Shakespeare, and if you have a look at the slide, you will see that words like manager, fashionable, eyeball, gloomy, lonely, they are among those that were invented by William Shakespeare. And it is incredible that he had a vocabulary over 24,000 words, the most for any writer then and now. So he was a very talented writer who reformed the English language, and the language that we know today should say thank you to William Shakespeare. And now I would like you to listen to a poem, to a sonnet, which will be read in original pronunciation of that time. I'm sure that you haven't listened to such pronunciation. So let's listen and try to understand what was different at that time from modern language.
Music dear, why hear'st thou music sadly? Sweets with sweets war not, joy delightsome joy. Why lov'st thou that which thou receives not gladly, or else receives with pleasure thine annoy? If the true concord of well-tuned sounds by unions married do offend thee ne'er, that do but sweetly chide thee, who confounds in singleness the parts that thou shouldst bear. Mark, one string, sweet husband to another, strikes each and each by mutual ordering, resembling sire and child and happy mother, who all the known, one pleasing note, do sing, whose speechless song, being many, seem unknown, sings this to thee, thou single wilt prove known.
So what do I understand from this video? That there were some words that are used even now. So quite a lot of words seem very similar. But also there are some words that we can't understand because they are old English, yes, Middle English. And also there are some sounds that are not pronounced, they were not pronounced at that time, but they are pronounced now. So the language is rather difficult, and of course it is very difficult to read Shakespeare in the original. But the language, from my point of view, is very beautiful, both at that time and nowadays. And now let's have a look at some acting. Here there will be 3 pieces of performances by British and Russian actors, and all three pieces will be devoted to famous monologue from Hamlet from the tragedy Hamlet, To Be or Not to Be. In fact, it is a very difficult tragedy, and you will study it on your lessons of literature in the ninth form, because the idea is really very hard. Now we won't discuss the idea of this tragedy. We'll just watch the performing, the style of actors, and we'll try to compare what is different, their intonation, their manners, their emotions, what is different. And while watching, try to decide to yourself whom do you like more and why. Let's start from the English version with English subtitles. It will be recited by an actor, Andrew Scott.
To be or not to be? That is the question. Whether 'tis nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against a sea of troubles, and by opposing, end them, die, asleep, no more, and by asleep to say we end the heartache and the thousand natural shocks that flesh is heir to. 'Tis a consummation devoutly to be wished. Die, to sleep, to sleep, perchance to dream. Aye, there's the rub. For in that sleep of death, what dreams may come when we have shuffled off this mortal coil? Give us pause.
Another one is by famous actor from an English TV series, Sherlock Holmes, Benedict Cumberbatch.
You're not question. It is nobler in the mind to suffer the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, or to take arms against the sea of troubles by opposing, end them,
So this was the same part, and now we are going to listen to the Russian language, the same monologue, to be or not to be.
Быть или не быть? Вот в чем вопрос. Достойно ли смиряться под ударами судьбы? Или надо оказать сопротивление и в смертной схватке с целым морем бед покончить с ними? Умереть, забыться. И знать, что этим обрываешь цепь сердечных мук и тысячи лишений, присущих телу. Это ли не цель, желанная, скончаться, сном забыться, уснуть и видеть сны? Вот и ответ. Какие сны в том смертном сне приснятся, когда покров земного чувства снят? Вот в чем разгадка. Вот что удлиняет несчастьем нашим жизнь на столько лет. А то, кто снес бы ложное величие правителей, невежество вельмож, всеобщее притворство, невозможность излить себя, несчастная любовь и призрачность заслуг в глазах ничтожен, когда так просто свои все концы удар кинжала. Кто бы согласился, кряхтя под ношей жизни не плестись, когда бы неизвестность после смерти, боязнь страны, откуда ни один не возвращался, не склоняла волей мириться лучше со знакомым злом, чем бегством к незнакомому стремиться.
A famous Soviet actor, Никита Салтыновский. So you can see that Shakespeare is great in any language. Sorry. And the last point for us to discuss today is poetry. So his poetry is also very famous all over the world. Both plays and sonnets are read, are recited. And now let's listen to also a very famous part, which is named All the World's a Stage. Весь мир театр, и все мы в нем актеры. We're going to listen to this part, and your home task, your extra home task, will be based on this part. So let's listen, try to understand as much as possible, and I will give you the Russian variant and the English variant. You will see it, you will be able to read it and analyze. Now let's listen and try to understand a general idea.
All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances.
And one man in his time plays many parts, his acts being 7 ages.
At first, infant, mewling and puking in the nurse's arms, and then the whining schoolboy with his satchel and shining morning face,
Creeping like snail unwillingly to school.
and then the lover, sighing like furnace with a woeful ballad,
Made to his mistress's eyebrow. Then a soldier,
full of strange oaths and bearded like the pard,
jealous in honor, sudden, quick quarrel.
seeking the bubble reputation, even in the cavern's mouth. And then the justice, fair round belly with good capon lined, with eyes severe, and beard of formal cut, full of wise souls and modern instances, and so he plays his part. The sex stage shifts into the lean and slippered pantaloon,
with spectacles on nose and pouch on side, his youthful hose well saved, a world too wide for his shrunk shank and his big manly voice, turning again toward childish trebles, pipes and whistles in his sound.
Last scene of all that ends this strange eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion.
Sun's teeth, sun's eyes, sun's taste, sun's everything. Oh,
So here is the English version of this part and the Russian one. And this is the end of our lesson, and let's discuss the whole. First of all, of course, to sum up the ideas of our lesson, I will return to the very beginning of our presentation and will repeat the idea that, of course, Shakespeare is great and we can discuss him a lot of times, and we can devote to him a lot of time and discuss him in different aspects, in acting, in poetry, and so on and so forth. We can learn by heart his sonnets, analyze them, but your home task will be to, you will be given 2 printouts that you are going to fill in and send to your teacher today and tomorrow. So you have 2 days to do them. And an extra task, it will be quite interesting. I hope that the majority of you will try to do it, because it's really very interesting. It will be devoted to the expression all the world is the stage. Why? Try to think why Shakespeare called the world the stage and the people actors. So just your ideas answering this question: why our world is a stage and why we are actors. What was his idea? Why did he say so? So write an essay, please, 1 page or 1.5 page. Just your ideas. Think about it. Thank you very much for your attention. I hope that you are interested in Shakespeare now, and maybe you will have an opportunity to watch some of his plays on the internet, or maybe you will try and read some of his tragedies or maybe comedies or maybe sonnets. Thank you very much and goodbye.